Hello, everybody. Welcome to Telli Talks, where we talk about life, growth, relationships, and all things in between. We are here at the Classic Cat, and this episode is sponsored by 8 Lab. Today, we have a very special guest. She is an artist, she is a rapper, she is a philanthropist, she is a mother, and all things in between. Neelam.
Thank you. Hello. So happy to be here today with such a beautiful queen.
Oh, amen.
This is so
right back
cute.
at you. Cheers to everything that you're doing in life, and may everything be successful.
The feeling is mutual. You're freaking amazing, and I'm so happy to meet you in person.
Absolutely.
This is so cute. You guys, this is my mocktail.
Yes, we have to do a mocktail. I'll take the real cocktail this time. I usually drink.
Good. That is good.
You like it?
Yes.
Okay. So for the people that don't know your journey, can you tell us how you got to where you are today?
Yes. So when I first started online, as far as like getting a following, I was into just showing modest fashion in a dope way. I feel like, shout out to all my Muslim girls out there, like, just showing that you could be cute and still like be as far as like whatever you subscribe to as your religion. And that's what I did. But one day, it was actually when Sandra Bland was killed. I wrote this poem, and my husband, who is crazy, he says, I think this would be dope if you put it to music. And I'm like, what? That would be so weird. And I had a lot of fear about it. And I just felt like, what are people going to say? Like, I've never done anything like this. This is really weird. But I went ahead and did it, and I put it out, and it ended up getting reposted by Diddy in the Shade Room, and all these people like were reposting it. And I was like, whoa, I wasn't expecting this. And then I did another piece, and then that one was reposted by Will Smith and Erykah Badu and the Shade Room. And I was just like, whoa, it wasn't what I expected, but it was a beautiful thing to see that, I could just bring something different and authentic to the space.
Absolutely.
And, and people from all walks of life really like being like, I feel it. And that was just really dope, especially because, like I said, I had a lot of fear about it, caring what other people think.
Absolutely.
And then to get that validation, not that it mattered, but it was just like that reassurance, like, dang, people are like, hey, this is
I'm a boss,
dope.
I could do this.
Right.
And my voice matters.
That
I feel like, especially as a woman, especially as a woman, I feel like women and men, but I feel like we get judged so much. I feel like naturally we're emotional, so it affects us.
Yes,
absolutely. And first of all, whether you describe them as a poem or a rap, whatever it is that you do is so powerful, and the way that you put everything together is amazing.
I really appreciate it.
Amazing. How do you come up with, I guess, the verbiage for when you write? Like, is it something that you feel?
To be honest, it starts with the beat.
So it was the beat before, like when you were doing poems prior to?
No, that was literally just writing about what happened. But after it became intentional, where it's like, okay, I'm going to do this music thing, find a beat, and it's like, this speaks to me, dun dun dun. And then, to be honest, it's really funny, but the shower, I'll be in there for a long time. It actually starts with like a cadence, which has no words, but it's like, how do I ride this beat? And then the words come together. Then I go to my husband, I'm like, what do you think of this? And he's like, hey, that's dope. Or no, that part, change that. And then it's like, okay, I got it, And then it's so funny. Every time before I like press post, I'm always like, I don't know why, but I am always nervous. Like, but then I ask the question, do you stand by this? Yes, I do. Right. So I don't care what anybody says. Post. And then it's always like a really good thing. But I would say that's the creative process, which is random but funny, but true.
No, it's just so flattering to me how like people come up with their words or how they write, and everyone writes completely different. And I feel like yours is so passionate and meaningful and relatable, and like you can just kind of I wouldn't say understand, because I don't know what you're thinking, but it's almost like you can put yourself in that perspective by the way that you've written what you've written.
That makes me feel freaking amazing. First of all, you saying that.
So dope.
I feel like that saying, music is supposed to reflect the time we're in.
Absolutely.
So, striving to just be, in tune with what's going on, and try to have like a message, like not to be preachy, but to just have something that people can relate to. Sometimes I feel like I can listen to a song and it was like, what was this about? It was like about nothing, so to have like just, like some type of meaning to something, I just feel like it's great.
Especially now with like the music industry now, and it's just like rapping about nonsense. They're just saying,
right.
I don't know, ad libs. I feel like it doesn't have
right.
like meaning to like.
The beat's fire.
Yeah, the beat is fire. But you could literally be screaming, or you could literally just be like, the whole time, and you're like, damn, where's the whole song?
Yeah, and it's funny how the power of a beat can make us dismiss what was said.
Exactly.
Because it's like, that was a bunch of nonsense, but this beat is fire, period.
Exactly.
So if we can have a mixture of being able to put a message on top of a dope beat, I think that's like the perfect magical moment.
And that's, to me, like I said, everybody has their own perspective of music, and to me, every time I listen to something, I'm always listening to the words. Like what, like I like artists like Common, like Kendrick, like people that are talking about something, or like real lyricists like Nas, or someone that's talking about something that like, okay, this is a dope beat, but it's also a dope message, and he's actually making sense, or she's actually making sense of what she's saying, and it's relatable, or you can understand the situation, or you can understand how she feels or he feels, or whatever they're describing in that moment of time. It just makes music so dope.
Magical. Yeah.
So dope.
I feel like it's interesting because I almost feel like it's easier for a man to be able to like have like a message in the music industry, but I feel like for women, well, personally, like, sorry, let me run this back. It's really interesting in this music industry because naturally, if you want to be something, you should study that which you're trying to be.
Absolutely.
So naturally, if I'm like, I want to be a female hip hop rapper. Okay, let me study that. What does she wear? What does she talk about? What type of moves does she make? Okay, naturally, it's like, well, I'm failing because I'm making my own lane that doesn't exist. So naturally that comes with a struggle and a, like
it's almost like you're trying to stereotype yourself to be in this box when it's so much deeper than that.
Absolutely. And like back in the day, we used to be able to listen to Lauryn Hill and Lil Kim, and it was both lit. Now it's like we're only getting like one mood, which is kind of funny because like we were discussing before the camera came on, women are so multifaceted, so dynamic, especially black women. So the fact that we're only being presented one mood, it's kind of like ludicrous because that's definitely a mood, period. But it's like, well, where's the balance? Where's the other moods that we are? That because we are not, of course, a monolith, but we are a bunch of everything. So if I could bring a balance to that, to me, that would be magical, because I just feel like I was saying, for men, I feel like it's a little bit easier for them to do what they do and have a message. As a woman, I can't tell you how many times I've been told, like, you're so beautiful, you're so talented. If you show a little more skin, I feel like you'd be more successful. Or why don't you take that thing off your head? Like, I just feel like you'd be popping more. Even women, like, girl, I seen your hair's popping. You should take it off. And it's just like, they don't want you to really be your authentic self, or they want your authentic self to be conditional. Based off of certain conditions, I'll be this or that. And it's like, when you're really yourself, it's kind of hard to like, I'm not going to switch up for a situation. So I've noticed in like this journey, like, just situations where it's like, dang, I just was told that. And I'm just like, guys, I'm not going to change. It's not that serious, And if you're, I would say if your goal is more just your art, and then touching people who really like reading a message from a girl who says, thank you for making me feel confident in my hijab. That matters more than like, like certain platforms. I feel like it is difficult being independent because you are watching like rocket ships and elevators, even escalators up. And when you're taking the stairs, you're like, this is harder. But if you're focused on your personal goal, you'll keep taking that step. So.
Absolutely. And it's deeper than music for you. So that's I feel like is the tea and the root and the heart of everything. That it goes further than music. It goes past, you're a woman, but you're also a religious woman. So it's just deeper than just, some people just do music for the money. Some people do music to feed their family. And there's depths to it, and I just feel like your depth is just deeper than, climbing the ladder and just being the successful, sexy rapper, and you can still be sexy in all of everything that you have on.
Absolutely.
and it's fine.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, I went to Saudi not too long ago, and I loved how they dressed.
You was killing the game. I saw you.
It was beautiful, and I love. Thank you so much. And I was just like, I just love like embracing other people's cultures and other people's religion. Right. Who's to say what is right and what is wrong?
Absolutely.
Who are we as humans to say, okay, believe in this God, or believe in this Buddha, or believe in this Allah, or whoever that may be. And I just feel like, whatever you choose, that's your preference, as long as you're happy at the end of the day.
I love that you say that too, because like I'm actually a convert. Like my whole family, I was grew up Christian. My whole entire family is Christian. Like we're like my little family of 5, we're the only ones who like converted to Islam. But what I saw was like how much we have in common. And it's funny, like, like 1 + 4 = 5, 2 + 3 = 5, 6 - 1 = 5. We're all getting the same answer, but we are arguing about the equation. So we do all this religious gang banging on each other, and that's all man-made. When we like, if you just really like take a step back, it's like we're really all one, and we're all kind of speaking the same language, just getting a different way, So it's just, I love that you said that, because that's how I feel.
I was the same. I was like Christian Catholic, even though they're more similar,
right?
But it was still like, okay, well, there's you're praying to symbols, and there's this is the Christian way and this is the Catholic way, and there's that battle. It's almost like politics with religion, and it's almost like okay, we believe in certain things similar, but we're just going about it the different ways.
Teach.
And I just feel like it shouldn't, as long as you're happy at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
How was the conversion for you?
You know what? My dad, I was 12 years old, and my dad came home from reading like Malcolm X and all this stuff, and he's like, we were Muslims. How that black, like, African American plight, where you're like connecting to your roots and stuff like that. So, but the cool thing about him is he was deep diving and like doing research, but he told me and my sisters and my mom, he's like, you guys do whatever you want. You do your own research and decide what you want to do. I don't want you to just be blind followers of anything. Right. So I did
he did that.
Yeah. And I did my deep dive, and I mean, I actually deep dive into like a lot of religions. That's why I even say like, man, there's so much similarities. It's really beautiful. But yeah, and then I just finally was like, I really subscribe to this. This is really dope. Just more in actions. I actually am not moved by words that much, like at all. It's like, what do you do? What am I seeing you do for people? What transformation of lives? Like people who literally, I used to kill you over a color, and now I'm like, I love my brother, I love everyone, and I used to sell my body, and now I'm like, just this, I'm a queen, and I just love stuff like that. So that's really kind of like what sold me. But yeah.
No, it's beautiful. And like I said, like, rock your stuff. Where are your...
Period. Do you?
I can never say it's hijab, right?
Yes.
Hijab. Yeah, I can never say it right. I always mess it up. I'm always thinking of how it's spelled and not how it sounds.
Oh, I know, right?
So every time I see something and it's like, okay, wait, how do I say this? Do I want to say this the English way or the proper way? So no, I think it's super dope.
Thank you so much.
Now, when my only thing was, it was hot as I don't know what. When I went to Saudi, and I was like, oh my gosh, how do they do this in the summertime?
I've never been. It's unbearable.
Oh my gosh, it is hot.
I heard scientifically covering up because it's so hot somehow cools them.
Yes.
Yeah. So
that's the same
other
thing.
than that, I felt like, as they said, like you would literally like be burning. So I guess I get it.
Yeah. No, they were saying like in the summertime they can't go out during the daytime because it's like
I can't imagine,
unbearable.
And it's hot here in LA right now. I'm like, this is different, but we can't even compare it to like.
No, it was a different type of heat, and that was when it was cooler. It wasn't like summertime yet.
Yeah,
and I was just wild. Like, this is insane. Like, how is this livable?
Yeah, and it's funny, like, you just made me remember, like, I had to go to Kenya. We were doing cataract surgeries for people who couldn't get the surgery, and we went to an orphanage we were helping out, and the children were barefoot on the sand, and I was like, we were complaining about how hot our feet was through our shoes, and I was like, dude, I'm low-key burnt, like my feet are burning. And the children were just like, walking around, and I'm like, yo, it's funny when you're from somewhere, like how your body can like I don't know, like adjust to wherever you're from, because it was literally unreal looking at, like, I'm like, one of the dudes, his sandals were melting, but you guys are barefoot and you're fine. So it was just wild, but you just made me think of that. So
no, and it also makes you like be grateful for the things that we do have and the things that, you know, we take for granted.
Say that.
And it's like, look at, you know, for us, we like to think of it as we're free, you know, and then it's like, okay, here's, whether it's a religion, whether it's a culture, whether it's a different place or country, that they have different, you know, requirements for certain people, and you're just like, wait, this is actually protecting me. Wait, this actually helps my skin, instead of just going out, showing all your skin, exposing it to all these sun rays, and we don't know what we're doing. Nobody's wearing sunscreen every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just be realistic. So it's just like the things that we take for granted and advantage in other countries, they might not necessarily do that, and it just gives you a better respect and understanding of different things.
Absolutely.
So I think it's beautiful. I think culture is beautiful, and I just, different walks of life. Like, I was born in the Philippines, third world country, so coming to America, and then it's like, wait, this is, you know, different. I came when I was 3, but it's I used to visit all the time, and it's very, very different. You know, like, you go to other third world countries and you're fetching water from a well, and you know, and here we are with purified drinking bottled water, complaining about the taste of what Fiji and what Essentia and, you know, whatever bottled water we have, when there's people that aren't even drinking water, period, let alone having clean water.
And you know what's even more interesting is to be out there. Like, I went to Gambia, we were building orphanages, the happiness they have.
Yes.
And it's like I said, we're out here complaining with all this luxury, and they're out there like genuinely happy and finding pockets of joy in their lives, that I'm just like, there's something weird in the air out here for us to have so little gratitude, in my opinion.
Yes, absolutely. I honestly feel like being in America, there's so much more pollution that we feed into. I don't watch the news, like, because it's so
okay, that's good.
It's so negative. There's it's never like, fear, you went to Kenya, this person did, you know, a pro bono case wherever. Or they never show anything positive. It's always, killings here, stabbings here, this person died.
Be scared.
Yeah, it's a lot of just, but I also feel like people feed off of negativity. Like, it's like, it's something, I have no idea what it is. Violence, negativity. Like, people like yearn for it, and it's crazy to see. And then you go to these other places and they're just like happy with nothing. And you're just like, oh, you know, my father's alive, my mother's alive. Just the smallest things that we might take for granted because we're trying to fulfill our dreams, and we don't spend as much family time or whatever they make.
Comparing, because we're always feeding on what other people are doing in their lives.
110%.
And it's just like, it's hard to be present in your own life. I realized too, it's like, I'll get a win and then I'm thinking of the next thing, and it's like, wait, pause, this is good, this is such a good moment, but you're already on to the next thing, and it's like, can you pause for a second and be happy? Like, you prayed for this moment, you're here, but you're already not in present time, and it's just, that's a sickness.
I deal with that as well too, because it's almost like you want everything to be super successful, and you want to, like, I like to try to master everything that I'm doing before I move on to the next thing. But then to me, it's almost like, all right, I've been doing this and I know how to do it, but how are we going to get it to grow? How are we going to take the next step up? So it's like, you accomplish one thing and you're like, okay, this is done. Now what's the next thing? How can I make it better? How can I elevate? And then you don't get to enjoy or celebrate that particular moment because you're already trying to get one up it. Exactly.
Yes.
So how do you deal with that? Because to me, I'm still learning how to deal with it.
Yeah, I've got this exercise. It's just a gratitude. It's literally, it's funny. It says list 10 things every morning. List 10 things you're happy for. I end up stopping at number 50. It's funny, it's the requirement's just 10, but every time I keep going, and it's just like that helps you be like, man, there's so much to be grateful for, period. And, you know, I'm guilty of still always, you know, not being grateful sometimes. I think it's just really hard here, like you said, with social media and just like our climate out here. It's just different. There's a lot of distractions. But finding that pocket of gratitude, I feel like has been a game changer for me, because I'll be like, it would like bring me to tears, like, oh, this is so, and it's funny, I read a quote yesterday that said, not having gratitude can make I'm probably gonna say this wrong thing. It was so good. Not having gratitude can make everything seem like nothing, and having gratitude can make nothing seem like everything. I think that's right. Wow. And I was like, beautiful. That's so real, because it's like you'll find yourself just literally being like, man, my lungs work. Especially when like you'll see, I don't know if you ever like see someone where they're like on a breathing machine online, and you're like, whoa. Do you for a second just be like, dang, thank you for like, I'm not on a breathing machine. Just little things like where you're like, man, that person is blind. Thank you, my eyes. Like I don't notice that, how powerful my eyes are, you know? So
it's almost like you don't notice until something happens.
Come on. You ever get the stuffed nose? Mm-hmm. And when you're like, dang, I can't breathe. And it's like, congested. I literally don't realize that when I'm breathing well, I don't care.
And it's natural.
And the moment I get a stuffy nose, I'm like, oh my God, can I just breathe normal again? It's like, wow, have that gratitude. Keep that same energy.
Yes, 110% of the time. Where it's like, don't just pray when you have something wrong, or when you want something, or you need something, or you need reassurance every day. Like,
period.
I pray before I eat, before I sleep, you know, every day. Thank you for waking me up. Thank you for bringing me today safely here. Even though I was late, but thank you for bringing me here safely.
That part.
You know, just like, and it's hard sometimes because you have so much going on that you kind of just literally have to stop and be like, thank you. I appreciate this, because there's people in worse situations, and we like to think that we're in a bad situation, or I'm not doing as best as I can in my life right now, but you know, we're not going to get everything we want at the time we want it, when we want it.
You know, I take care of my mother. She has multiple sclerosis, and we had to move her in with us. And I remember when she was on the cane, and it was the worst thing ever. Then she was on the walker, the worst thing ever. Then she's in a wheelchair. Now she's in a power wheelchair. And it's funny how it's like, it can always get worse. If you could just be great. Right now, she would die to be on the cane. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, to keep that in mind, like, it can always be worse. And just be happy for, honestly, even your trial. Like, to always have that is just a game changer.
Absolutely. And speaking of family, you have family, 2 kids, and a husband.
Yes.
How is that, juggling family with work and everything that you have going on? Philanthropy, rapping, writing, Instagram, everything, religion, everything.
Yeah, you know, it's beautiful. I feel like I said, women are dynamic. We're amazing. So we do it all, period. And, you know, I just celebrated my 13-year anniversary.
Oh, congrats.
Shout out to my husband. I love you. And I have 2 children. My son, Afai, he's 10 years old. He's on the spectrum for autism. And then my daughter, Kai, she's 8. And I just love them. And they've taught me so much, especially my son, because you have to, like, change your world to, like, adapt to, like, oh, it's not just this box of, like, this is how it goes. You have to adapt. And it's just been such an amazing journey. And, you know, and it takes a village. I'm so thankful. My husband's mom is my mother-in-law, but she's been so amazing, like, as far as, like, helping, like, because I feel like I, in a sense, kind of lost my mom because of the sickness. So she's, like, the other mom that I, like, can lean on. And
that's amazing.
I'm like, oh, you're meant to be, like, it's like everything was aligned, because having her has just been amazing. But my husband is just my rock, my partner, my manager. It's just been really amazing.
It's so beautiful when you can work with your spouse.
Yes.
And just, you know, thrive together at home, in business, with children, as a family. Like, that's the best thing ever. And it's the genuine happiness. Like, I could see it from each other. You know, it's like there's people that you see, I'm an observer, and there's people that you see that are, like, together, and they're, like, not together, you know. So it's like, to see, it's beautiful to see, you know. And it's like, it's especially here, especially now, time that we're in, it's just beautiful to see a happy, strong, loving household. So I commend you guys for that, and congratulations on 13 years.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm just really grateful for that, naturally. And it's funny, I feel like what you said, in this time, it's almost like, dare I say it, it's like there's, like, an attack on marriage and, like, those type of, like, unions. So it's almost like, you know, in this climate, like, fighting for just, like, oh no, like, even the narrative of, like, all the negative fights online and just like men should be doing this and women should be doing this. It's like it's all you see is like the bickering part, and I feel like a lot of times, like you said, the negative is louder than the positive.
110%.
Like, so we can't really see, like just some good wholesome it's like
they're not speaking about happiness and monogamy and just purity, they're speaking on pedophilia, they're speaking on polygamy, they're just speaking on things that isn't toxic, normalized or like toxic and just negative, and just like everything, whether that's social media, whether that's TV, it's not pushing out happiness.
Not like
there's never any segments that like what makes you happy, what drives you, what motivates you, like what channel is doing that.
That's absolutely right. Like just a moment, just like where is the positivity
at all?
So striving to like put some positivity into this, like kind of like just shed some light in the darkness, striving to do that. Me and my husband, we just launched a little podcast called Love and War.
I love it.
And we're just trying to bring positivity to the whole male-female relationship cattiness that we see. It's like, okay, let's just bring some like uplifting stuff. So
do you guys interview couples or just...
We're gonna all of that.
Our
first one we did we just did the 13-year like it's a reflection, and then we started speaking on like the climate of like right now, and it's really cool. But
okay, so 13, you guys are 13 years in, we're 8 years in. How have you guys mastered communication? And like, because I feel like that is in all relationships, whether it's friendships, whether it's partnerships, whether it's family, I feel like communication is the hardest thing. The hardest thing. Yes,
I would agree. Especially for me, like the way I communicate, to be honest, I will hold in, and it's like that's a problem. It's like
I feel like that's a woman thing, though,
right?
I feel like because men are just gonna be like, "Come on now, say it right now, right now." If you don't say it right now, don't say it later on.
That's real. And then it's like when I'm ready to say it's 3 a.m. Like, so anyways, and it's like this is the wrong time. It's funny that saying where it's like, make sure when you're throwing out your seeds, you're doing in the right season.
Yes.
You could throw your seed out, and if it's snowing, it's not going to germinate. And I will tend to like, oh, this is the time it's snowing right now, and I'm going to throw the seed out. And it's like, hey, find the right pockets of time and express yourself. And then guess what? Whatever you thought how big it was going to be, it wasn't at all. It was just like,
okay, so here's my thing with that, right? So if like, okay, let's say for example, you guys disagree, right? And you're out and about, and there's people, and the situation happened right then and there.
Okay.
But it's like you can't, like with my situation, a lot of people know him, a lot of people know me, so we can't sit there and have an argument
when
everyone's around, So it's like, okay, now's not the time. But then if I bring it up like 5 hours later, like you said, in the bed, you're gonna be like, why are you telling me about this now? I'm trying to go to sleep, girl. Like, it's time to go to bed. So it's kind of like, how do you kind of, I guess, because obviously it has to be spoken about, right? Obviously it has to transition somehow, some way.
Yeah.
But how, when I mean, I'm sure you guys deal with the same thing. When you're in moments like that, how do you kind of like decipher on when are we going to tell him in the car, in the Uber? Are we going to tell, like, when is this conversation happening?
That's real. And like you said, when you have like certain eyes on you, it's like this is not the place
or the time.
To be honest, that's like a situation that is unique. So you do have to like follow your gut, but I feel like naturally you do have to table it. And
110%.
As annoying as it is to bring it up later, we're just going to bring it up. And actually, to be honest, usually later you're calmer and you're more, you thought it out.
Yeah.
So it's not that emotion that could have been with it at that time. It's not there. So it honestly is. And it's like, even if he is like, why are you bringing this up? It's like, well, it was on my mind and I'm just going to express this. He'll respect that. You know what I'm saying?
110%. So, and I feel like by the time it gets brought up, he's already over it. And I'm still like, damn, that was bothersome. You know what I'm saying?
We'll sit with something like, no, I'm not. So but after we get it off of us, we genuinely feel better. And I feel like when they understand that, they're like, go ahead, get it off.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like,
and I feel like when you get to a point of being with someone for so long, they'll look at you and be like, all right, what's wrong?
Yes.
Because they feel it. You know?
They know.
Yeah,
like,
they know.
What's up?
Yeah. You're not talking to me the same. Your tone is different.
Yeah.
You're quite whatever that may be.
Absolutely.
They know. And we know when it's vice versa.
Oh my God. We study our men. We know the hair off. We know when something is weird.
110%. 110%. Okay, so what do you have going on now? Like, what's coming up? What's new?
All right, so definitely working on new music. Yes. I'm excited about bringing that out. And then, like I said, I just launched the Love and War podcast, where we're just going to give some light on relationships. And, you know, there's something I kind of, I'll tell you later, but you know how there's certain things where it's cooking and it's like, don't say anything until it's set. So I have a lot of that. Yes. And you know,
that's a beautiful thing, and you should always keep that in until it's ready to be I'm like out there. Fingers crossed that certain things happen, but I'm excited for the future, and I'm gonna just do me regardless. Absolutely. You know, and just keep being my authentic self. I love that you're pure to yourself, and that's what matters most, because everyone is trying to live a life that they're not. They're trying to please others by living a life that they're not even happy with. Right. So it's I love that happy. Yes. For sure. Yes. First and foremost, in real life. Yes. In real life, first and foremost. Yes. That's the most important thing. Yes. You know, happiness within your relationship, happiness within your kids, happiness within your work. So it doesn't even feel like you're going to work every day. Yeah. And that's just, you can't beat that. You can't pay for that. You can't. Period. None of that. Yes. So for everyone that comes on this show, we play this game. Super toxic, but super fun. Okay. It's the world's cleanest, dirtiest game. Okay, let's do it. If that makes sense. Let's do it. All right. I played it so much, I feel like I know all the answers. So I'm going to let you pick 3 cards, hand them to me, don't look at them, and I'm going to describe a word, and you're going to guess what's on the word. Okay. Do. Okay. Ready? Yes. When I'm done, you'll need to wipe off your holes. I can come many times in a row. You usually close your eyes when I spasm. My residue can drip all over your face. I can shoot all over the people around you. The people around you. So the best clues is my residue can drip all over your face. Okay. You usually close your eyes when I spasm. That's a good one. Is it like when you're washing your face? No. I mean, a hose? No. It's definitely something that an action that happens on your face. You usually close your eyes when I spasm. When I'm done, you'll need to wipe off your holes. A sneeze. Yes. Oh, yay. I feel so good. So good. All right. Next. I might need a fudge packer to finish me off. My balls can taste sour in your mouth. If I'm hard enough, you can suck on me for hours. Bite me hard and I could cream all over your face. You like it when I come in your Easter basket. Oh, the chocolate eggs? No, but close. If I'm hard enough, you can suck on me for hours is a good clue. My balls can taste sour in your mouth. More general. Okay. Bite me hard and I could cream all over your face. Is it just like an egg? No. Oh. The Easter basket thing it comes in the Easter basket, but more general than an egg. I'm stumped. Candy. Candy? What the heck? Oh, I get it. Yeah. Candy ball. Yeah, like there's a lot of candy like that. Yeah. That's why I was like general, because it's funny. I was thinking of like a jawbreaker too. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay, we're 1 for 2. All right, you got this one. Dun, dun, dun. If you get me toasted, I'll get harder for you. You can stick your hot salami in me. If you shoot too much sauce in me, I could drip all over your face. I'm too thick, it takes 2 hands. Oh, I'm sorry. If I'm too thick, it takes 2 hands to stick me in. If I'm uncut, I may have to be too big for you to handle.
Why do I see like a hot dog?
No. Okay, think of if you get me toasted, I'll get harder for you.
Okay.
You can stick salami. You can stick your hot salami in me.
Okay. So maybe like buns? Like
Close.
bread?
Yeah, close.
Oh.
What's another name for bread that you can stick salami in? What is toast made out of?
Dough?
What is dough made out of that you eat that comes in a bag? That's a loaf.
Oh, okay, so okay, not a loaf of bread, but like
what do you put meat in?
In a sandwich?
Sandwich.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to give it to you, but not give it to
mind. That's
Tell everybody
hilarious.
where they can find you. Did so good, so good. Tell everybody where they can find you, where they can watch your podcast,
oh, yes.
where they can listen to your music, all that good stuff.
All right, you guys. Actually, just give me a follow on Instagram at Neelam, NEELAM _ and everything is that's me is on there. And I have to say before we close that it was such a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure's mine.
I feel like sometimes when you're following someone, like I've been following you forever, and you meet them in person, it's like it's either like, oh, they were awesome, or it was like, ew, that was worse, or it was better. I feel like it was better. It's like you're better than you are online.
No,
like,
feelings mutual.
Beautiful inside and out. And
thank you. You too.
So good to be here.
Oh, I'm so glad you came. I'm so glad you brought your husband. I'm so glad you guys work together. I'm so glad your union is growing.
Yes.
Hopefully you guys have more kids.
Yes, yeah. You know what? I think we might do that.
Yeah, we got 8 and my man wants 4 more. I'm like, that's a lot.
Really?
So we're working on trying to compromise for that.
I want that.
Yes. It's so much fun though. It's so
like
much
being
fun.
Pregnant was cool. The birth was kind of like
no, that
but
my second child was really hard, so I'm kind of like that's what's making it harder for me.
Right.
I was in labor for 26 hours, girl, and I'm like, and then like you said earlier, I feel like there's times where like I just talked to one of my girlfriends and she was like, I was in labor for 4 days. And I said, girl, what?
I've heard a lot of
I was starving. Like, that's why I was like, I just want food.
Yeah.
Why are you eating all these lamb chops in front of me?
Oh my God.
Oh my, I couldn't.
No, they wasn't.
I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't do it. I was like, I'm hungry. I'm in pain. Give me the epidural. I can't take this. I was trying my hardest. Because my first one was natural. 2 pushes, 9 minutes.
Shut up. Jealous.
Easy.
Ew. I hate people like you.
My second one? 26 hours.
Yeah,
I was like,
wild.
if I can have pregnancies like my son,
right? You're like
all the time.
I got you.
I could do it every year.
Yeah.
But it's like now, I don't know. Maybe I'm older. You know, my body's not working the same. I have no idea. But kids are blessings. They're just innocent angels, pure souls, and you know, if we can motivate, teach them, it starts in the household, the right ways in life.
Right.
We can make the world a better place,
Absolutely.
and that's just what I'm all for.
I admire you.
You too. I'm so glad you came. And make sure you guys follow her. Make sure you guys tune into her couples podcast with her husband and all things that she has going on, her music, her philanthropy, and that is it for Telli Talks.
Thank you so much.